I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
All right. Nope. He's doing it. He's running again. All right, everyone. The time has come. Donald Trump, he's on stage. This is apparently going to be his, he has a very serious message. He has a very, very important message for all of us.
Just a short time ago, the Republicans won back control of the House of Representatives.
I think by 5 votes, and they barely got that, which is really funny because they only needed they needed minimum 5 votes.
Candidate Congressman-elect Kevin Kiley, who is a fantastic person.
Is that it?
A fantastic person. And I'm very happy it was his vote that did it. But we now won back. This happened just an hour ago. Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better. And frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through. And the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold.
Also, this is
feel it yet.
The history of Trump's endorsements in this election cycle.
That by 2024,
L means they lost, W mean they won.
Be much worse, and they will see much more clearly what happened and what is happening to our country, and the voting will be much different. 2024.
L. 1W. L. 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 1W. L. Runoff. L.
Are you getting ready?
L. 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 The big L.
I am too. I am too. I do want to point out that in the midterms, my endorsement success rate was 232 wins and only 22 losses. You don't hear that from the media.
Okay, buddy.
And this is an elegant night and an elegant place, and I'm not going to
all right, buddy.
Fake news media. So we're going to keep it very elegant. But you don't hear that from the media. But I think you will, because people are starting to see what happened. That's some score. And in the primaries was 98.6%. But they were still trying to blame me. And the reason for the success and that unprecedented success rate is that the Trump administration changed our nation on trade, on securing the border. We're the strongest, safest border ever in the history of our country. On Islamic terrorism, we had practically just about, not that I can think of, no Islamic attacks, terrorist attacks during the Trump administration.
There's sure,
and in fact, we got along very well with the various countries.
Bunch of those attacks that were fed off of his language overseas, and a lot of right-wing attacks fed off of his language in the country.
But it's because of cutting taxes and cutting regulations at the highest level ever, and on building the greatest economy. Any time in the history of the world, there's never been an economy like we had just 2 years ago. Despite the outcome in the Senate, we cannot lose hope. And we must all work very hard for a gentleman and a great person named Herschel Walker, a fabulous human being.
Fabulous.
Who loves our country and will be a great United States Senator. Herschel Walker, get out and vote for Herschel, and he deserves it.
Fabulous.
He was an incredible athlete. He'll be an even better senator. Get out and vote for Herschel Walker. We elected a group of incredibly talented America First leaders who will be stars of our party for many years to come. In the popular vote, another thing that's not discussed for the House, we must remember that Republicans won 5 million more votes, the largest margin in many, many years, over the Democrats. 5 million more votes. That's a big thing. Breaking the radical Democrats' grip on Congress.
What did they win the popular vote by? 3 points?
So in other words, because of our great congressmen and all of our great congressmen and congresswomen, we have taken over Congress. Nancy Pelosi has been fired. Isn't that nice? I told them, I said, if you just keep a little bit lower standard, you're going to have a big victory. They said, let's win by 40 seats. Let's win by 50. I said, if you win by 2 seats, be happy. But she's on her way to another country right now. She's been fired.
Yeah, the Republicans
But we
won by
always
4
have known
points. That's
that
not
this was
that
not
much,
the
but
end.
okay.
It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream. And it's a word you don't use, 2 words. I don't want
Is this guy edging his chat about whether or not he's going to like actually
That was not good what he did. There are a lot of
say
bad
he's
things,
running for
like
2024?
going to Idaho and saying, welcome to the state of Florida. I really
Did he do this just to reminisce about what it'd
In
be
order
like to be
make
president
America
again?
Great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
All right, nope. He's doing it. He's running again. This is going to be incredibly interesting. One of the reasons because it's the big civil war, okay? I don't really, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that Ron DeSantis is going to be running for president in 2024. I just don't think that he is. I think that he would more likely than not kind of win the nomination over Trump. But there's like a massive civil war going on right now in the Republican Party. There's a lot of people who are very, very pro-Trump, who are still pro-Trump and think that he is the best ever, and he should not be blamed for what happened in the midterm elections. And the only blame that he deserves is not his involvement, but him not getting involved enough. That's genuinely what a lot of like conservative analysts and talking heads and YouTube account owners are saying about this type of thing. And then there are the people on the other side who believe, like, if you just look at like r/conservative or something, or other like even the Donald, I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but even the Donald has turned against him. The Donald, the website literally named after worshiping him like a god that takes his own name. Even they're starting to turn on him and be like, this guy is like leading us down the path to ruin as a party, and we need to get rid of him. And so there are still a lot of people in the conservative movement who still love Donald Trump, but there are a lot of them who don't. And then a lot of states that he needs to win, Georgia, Arizona, a lot of those Nevada, they're turning against like Trumpian ideology like a lot. Less in Nevada, but more in Arizona and Georgia. They don't like him at all. They hate him. They hate him. And the biggest thing is, his biggest problem is that when it comes to Biden, people just don't feel that strongly about Biden in like any way, really. They don't, like, a lot of people don't really love him, and a lot of people don't really hate him. It's kind of scary to be a politician and not to be able to drum up a lot of like hate for your opponent. You just can't. It's very easy to drum up hate for Trump. It's very hard to drum up hate for Biden. Just look at everything that happened. There was no reason why the Democrats should have like expanded their lead in the Senate or almost barely held on to the House. This should have been like Republicans got 54 seats in the Senate and Republicans got like 240 or 50 in the House. Like, there's no possible way that this should have happened, but it did. And a lot of it is because of Trump, and they just don't like him. He's too much of a goofball. He's just too insane. And people would like, and it's the big fight between Trumpism without Trump, Trumpism with Trump, or no Trumpism and no Trump at all. That's a big thing that we're going to have to be dealing with here in the future. And I'm not sure if the Republicans are ready for it. I'm not sure if they're ready for the fight that's going to happen. It's going to destroy their party. Because there's so many people who are like die hard Trump. I mean, even look at people like, God, let's say like Steven Crowder, right? Let's look at like Steven Crowder. Remember what Steven Crowder said when Trump's house was yoinked by the FBI? He said, if there's any Republican politician who does not believe in the abolishment of the FBI after that like Trump kerfuffle, that he's not going to be voting for them. So anybody who's like even marginally like, yeah, I don't agree, but let's not dissolve the FBI, he's like, I'm not going to vote for them. How do you reconcile these two groups of people? The people who are like, Trump fucked up and he deserved it, and the people who are like, we need to abolish any institution that does bad things to me. Like, how do you come to grips with that? How do you bring these two people together? And honestly, a lot of the time, you just kind of don't. You just don't. A lot of the people who've always hated Trump have started to be able to talk freely about their dislike for him again. And a lot of people who love Trump are starting to like retire their MAGA hats and be on the Ron DeSanctimonious train or who the fuck ever. I mean, this will be like its own like segment, but even Mike Pence has turned against him. A day ago, or like less than a day ago, as of this recording, Mike Pence came out and said the president was reckless. The president endangered me and my family. And when it comes to 2024, we'll have better options. Verbatim, he said that. And he's even positioning himself to probably run for like president in 2024. So it's going to be like Pence versus Trump versus I think low likelihood, but maybe Ron DeSantis. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane if this happens. And I'm not sure if they're going to survive it, in the sense of I'm not sure whatever candidate makes it through, whatever candidate makes it through, it's very hard for me to believe that that candidate's going to be strong enough to beat even Biden. You know, Biden's just kind of gonna like get up on stage and be like, hey, remember the child tax credit? And then lick some ice cream and put on some shades. And people are like, you know what? He's not that bad. You know what? He ain't that bad after all. I mean, a lot of people don't want him to run for president again, but when it comes to not wanting him to run and being like, yeah, I'll support him anyways, even if when he's up against somebody like a Trump or a Pence or a Ron DeSanctimonious, I find it hard to believe a lot of people are gonna, turn coat on him. Right? It's going to be very difficult to see what this is going to be like in the future. And the best thing, honestly, is that I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to try and advise them to like do something better. I want to see the party crash and burn. I want to see this party be like buried in the fucking mud. Okay. I want to see this party just like, I want like to take like the Himalayan mountain range and pick it up and sweep the Republican Party under it and then just drop the mountain range on it again. You know what I mean? Just let them fight. Never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. Remember that, chat. Never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. As long as the Republicans are busy trying to like slice each other's throats open, that means they have less time to try to make the world a worse place for everybody else who's here. And you know what? I'll take it any day of the week. Any day of the week, I'll take it. Any day. So yeah, that's what we're working with right now. A lot of people are turning against Trump. He still has his rabid base. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to get him through the president, get him through to the nomination, but it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure necessarily who's going to run with him or against him, honestly, but guess we'll figure out what's going to happen, right? Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it.